Welcome to my podcast. My name is Karina. I come to you from the Pacific Northwest where I live with my partner, our 2 kitties, and 2 adopted Mustangs. Information about the Wild Horse Adoption Program will be in the episode description box. This podcast covers knitting projects, my horsemanship journey, and my other passions like vegetable gardening and bicycling. If you're new here, I hope you find the content interesting. If you're a returning viewer, it's always great to have old friends. The format of this channel typically includes musings on an early walk to the barn to feed the horses, then knitting content, some catch up on the horsemanship journey, and finally more musings or maybe a little bicycling footage if I was lucky enough to get out. Enjoy, and I hope to see you soon. Good morning, friends. Happy Friday, April 4th. We are walking through the house. I'm in a little bit of a hurry this morning. I am going to meet a friend for coffee, and I got a little bit of a late start getting ready. Sorry about the jiggly camera. Part of it was conversing a 3-way text with my mom and my sister about some important family news. Don't worry, everyone's okay. But then I kind of got a little bit, wanting to participate into that conversation and got a little waylaid by that. So I'm going to rush out to the barn, make sure the boys have hay, and meet a friend for coffee. It's Randy's birthday today, so I have a little grocery shopping to do to make him his favorite carrot cake. And then, I have to make room in the day for that. And Bragi's going to have some trailer training. So I'm going to put you on pause for a moment because I need to run the faucet for getting beet pulp soaked for the horse's evening meal. So hang on. Okay, so I have that done. Just need to go outside, get my boots on, and have a walk out to the barn. I do have some fun knitting news. I don't have any new or finished objects. I did start a project. I mentioned it last week, a crochet along with Knitty Natty. So I started that earlier this week, and I'm going to turn you around because it's a beautiful spring morning and it's chilly out. It might be low 40s, but the sky is clear, sun's not quite coming up over that way, birds are chirping. Also in knitting news, I got out a hibernating project that I put down for quite a while. I started working on that again. And then I just have my other works in progress. So I think I have actually 5 projects on the go. And I have been taking some time to work on them pretty much every day, even if it's just for a half hour. In horse news, there's nothing new. There's a lot of pollen in the air, so Odin has started coughing again a little bit. And I've noticed Bragi coughs once in a while too, so that's kind of new. They're both shedding, especially Odin, like crazy, getting rid of that winter coat. I've been spend a little time doing just a little bit of work with them every day, just teaching them a new skill. And that's been kind of fun. There's a new Ryan Rose horsemanship challenge. I don't know if I'll try because it's a riding challenge and can't get the saddle on Odin yet because of my shoulder. But I have been making a lot of progress with my shoulder, really increasing my range of motion. For those of you who are new here, I injured my shoulder really badly on January 10th. Fortunately, did not have to have surgery. Hello, O. And have been in physical therapy since. So making a ton of progress and mostly working on strength. So continuing the range of motion exercises and doing some daily strengthening exercises. Well, I'm going to make sure the boys have some food and then get to my errand in town. See you soon. Hello, friends. Welcome to the knitting portion of this podcast. I hope you have something nice to drink and maybe something to work on. I am going to go through most of the projects that I am working on. I am not going to show the poncho because I'm just knitting a few rounds a week on that, and I've been showing it every week, so let's just skip that one for now. What am I wearing? This is the Backlit Tee. I made it out of 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. You can see it's a color work yoke. The pattern is by Stephanie Lofton, otherwise Tilly B Knits, and it came from a book that I have of how to use self-striping yarn and not necessarily knit socks with them. So this is not self-striping yarn. This is Legacy Fiber Arts yarn, and it was, like I said, 2 skeins of yarn of the same kind of color family, and I just used the lighter one and the darker one as the contrast colors, and I think it came out really nice. I will probably knit this sweater again. It's short sleeve weather, sort of, not outside. It is still quite chilly outside, even though it's sunny. I showed you that view on the way to the barn, but I've been kind of running around and doing things this morning and have a carrot cake in the oven. So the oven's on, so the house is a little warm, and just all the prep of getting it ready and stuff kind of warmed me up a bit. So I thought a short sleeve sweater would be nice for this episode. I'm curious, on another note, on a non-knitting related note, for those of you who have cats, do you have problems with your cats squabbling? We have 2 cats, Herbert and Harley, which I've mentioned many, many times. And they are litter mates. So adopted them as little tiny baby kittens in November of 2020. They were just a couple months old, and they have been great, snuggle buddies. And then all of a sudden, last December, in the beginning, they just started yowling at each other and squabbling. I mean, they don't really make contact with each other. If anything, they try to avoid each other, but they do make a racket. And so we got them checked out by the vet, and really determined it wasn't anything health related. They're both in good health. We got Fell-Away, which is a diffuser. It's a cat pheromone diffuser, and put these little plug-in devices in, and I'm looking upstairs. There's one upstairs, and then there's one by their litter box, and then one in our room because they like to hang out in our room. So that calmed him down for several months, and then all of a sudden, earlier this week, it started again. We don't know why. We suspect Herbert's been on a diet. We suspect he's been hangry and kind of picking on Harley. Harley does his fair share of picking on Herbert, so, but, you know, I think they're tired of it. Now they're really suspicious of each other, and so they spend a lot of time staring at each other. And I'm just wondering if any of you have any strategies for sorting through that. My strategy has been to separate them. I'll give them each a timeout, shut a door between them for a couple hours so that they have time to relax and chill out and use the litter box and do whatever they need to do without fear of encountering each other. Randy played with them last night, like just tossed a string to him, and I used a little laser light and kind of played with them for quite a long time. And they were playing together. I mean, they were not together. They were playing in near proximity to each other without any problems. And I don't think we had any problems last night. Herbert sleeps between us, and then Harley, and that kind of keeps Harley away. But I felt like there was a couple of stare downs in the middle of the night. So, and right now they are, they were playing between the door. Harley's in the bedroom right now, but I think I opened a window, a screened window for him so he could like amuse himself out there. And Herbert just walked by. I don't know if you saw his tail. Anyway, if anyone has any suggestions, they're both indoor cats, have plenty of space to roam because our house is 3 stories. You know, they have an opportunity to get away from each other if they want to, but it seems like they want to occupy the same space at the same time. Don't know. Let's get on to the knitting project, shall we? So I will talk about projects you have seen before. So this is my Woolen Women retail therapy from when I initially injured my shoulder and was feeling sorry for myself. So this is their February bag. The theme is rodeo and romance. And I do have one finished sock. The sock is from this book, 52 Weeks of Socks. And this is pattern number 4 called Branches. And it did not come with a contrast color, but I wanted to make sure I have enough yarn, so I had a yellow mini that I thought would go nice with this. And this is the pattern. So it's a fairly complex pattern with just a 3-row ribbed cuff. I made a mistake when I first read the pattern, and it's only supposed to be one. I said ribbed. It's not ribbed. 1 row of knit, and then you immediately start in the pattern. Well, I have 3 rows of knit, so it's a stockinette cuff. And then you can see the pattern all down the front of the sock. Am I showing this in the right way? So fairly complex. The knitting is pretty easy to read, and I do have to refer to the pattern a lot because there's 3 charts total, and this first part is 39 rows, and you use 2 charts, and then the rest of it's just 1 chart. It's a kind of a twisted rib heel flap. And interestingly enough, the bottom of the foot, when you divide for the heel flap, it's slightly smaller than half the number of stitches. So this is 64 stitches. I have started on the second one. You can see the stitch markers. So little cowboy hat, very cute. You can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 different sections. And I accidentally cast on 60 stitches because a lot of times when I make socks, I do 60 stitches, but this has a little bit of cable, and the finished sock fits just fine. Again, Woolen Women, Rodeo and Romance colorway, which I think is great. I love it. And this will go in my sock stash. Pardon me while I take a drink of a sip of tea. I'm drinking green tea. This is a cropped top. I have high-waisted jeans on, but I do kind of find myself tugging on it a little bit. This is a bag made by my mom, a quilted dragonfly bag. It's lined, it has a zipper, has this nifty little handle, and it has a pocket. So it's lined with this polka dot fabric. So I am knitting a pair of Hermione's Everyday Socks. I keep my favorite patterns that I've kind of memorized in this book, refer to if I just forget. This is Freckled Whimsey self-striping yarn. This is When Cars Fly, the Harry Potter colorway for July of 2023. So the contrast color is this purple. I did not do the heel flap in that contrast color, but I will when I get to the toes, which is coming up pretty soon. I think I've got another 15 rows or so. So very basic stitch, easy to memorize. It's a 4-row repeat, which is about perfect for the width of the Freckled Whimsy self-striping stripes in the self-striping yarn. Each stripe is typically about 4 rows. I use Chowgu red lace, size 0, 32-inch cord, magic loop. So 1.5 millimeters, I think. No, 2 millimeters. So I should have at least a half finished object for you next time, and then hopefully the cast on for the second sock. And as I mentioned, when I was walking out to the barn, I dug out a project that had been hibernating. So this is the Vine Tank by Seedling Stitch. It's a complex pattern. I mean, once you get the hang of it, but I'm finding that I can't really read my knitting, especially in the flat sections, and I'll show you that here. But here is what it looks like with the pattern designer modeling it. So it's a nice full coverage tank top for summer, and I think you can do the split hem or just a regular hem. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm still working on the top where you work, and it's made out of a cotton yarn. This has been repurposed yarn, so pardon me while I untangle this. I think the needle size, these are Addies, and I have a really long, much longer than needed cable. I want to say it's a size 3, but I honestly don't recall because I cast these on quite a while. Let me see if I can find that. It has at least 4 charts, and you use them, you have to use them along with written instructions. And I'll explain that in a minute. So many pages to this pattern, and you kind of want all of them. Oh, here we go. Needles. It's 3.5 millimeters, so US 4. And I don't know if that is actually what I did or I went down a needle size. So this is it. You knit each quadrant, so front left, front right, and then back right is what I think I'm working on now, flat. And then you, there's a join, and I am working on the back of, I must be the right back. So you knit one side, you knit the other. At some point you join in the middle. Yeah, this is a cast on edge. So this is the front, which will just go over my shoulders, and then I'm working on the back and getting close to finishing the back. You can see this this fairly complex vine pattern with increases in the middle. It's easier, seems to me, I recall it's easier once you are done with these panels and join the whole top shoulder part together and then start knitting in the round. You look at the picture again. There is the vine pattern going down the center of the back as well. So it's very pretty. I have been enjoying this. I don't remember what this yarn is, quite honestly, because like I said, I repurposed it quite some time ago. So it's been in these small little, this bag of, yarn. I do know it's a cotton blend. What else do I want to say about this? Oh, I wonder if I even have, oh, I do, I think. It's Comfort DK. So this is what the yarn is. It's a sport weight yarn, so I do have some intact skeins of this left. I test knit this before the pattern came out, and my gauge was on at one point and then it was off. And it ended up being way too big. So, and I also think, I mean, this is a sport weight, DK Sport, so it's a little bit lighter. The yarn that I test knit in was a DK weight, and it was cotton. I wonder if this is 100% cotton or if it's a blend. I'm guessing it's a blend. It kind of feels like a blend. Anyway, my point is that when I was using the 100% cotton, oh yeah, this is nylon and acrylic, so it's a lot lighter weight than the cotton. The cotton was just too heavy, so it kind of it made it grow a lot. So I didn't finish the test knit, but I did get the updated pattern, and I will post this on Ravelry when I finish it. So I don't recommend this pattern for beginners, and even if you were an accomplished intermediate knitter, I have found it a little bit tricky and have to pay close attention. So if that is not your style of knitting, I don't recommend doing that. And then finally, I talked about the crochet along that I'm doing. That's the float tote with Knitty Natty. And I am doing it's going to be hard to see because this page did not print out that well, but it is a tote to carry your yarn in it, and it has like a tray with yarn cake cups, and it starts on the yarn cups. So, and you hold a cotton yarn double. So here's a good picture of what. So there's kind of a tray that you put the yarn cups on, and they're held with magnetic snaps. And this is the 3-cup tray. I did the 5-cup. I don't know why. So it's a size J crochet hook, and this is how far I've gotten on the first cup. So pretty sturdy, holding the yarn together. I'm using this lavender cotton yarn that I bought at Michael's a couple weekends ago. So I do knit on that a little bit. It's nice to have the other projects because crochet can be, especially cotton, can be hard on your hands. So it is good to have other projects to switch it up. So that is what I have been doing. So I mentioned in I was going to tell you what the yarn is. So this Cotton, this is what I did the test knit of that vine tank. And it's a Knit Picks, it's DK. I mean, it met the criteria for the pattern. I just found it too heavy. So this yarn, I got the lavender and this variegated and the pink and the gray. And I think the tray is marled, so I'm kind of thinking of holding the gray and this variegated together. because I think it'll bring it all together. And this is everything that's not the cotton lin is loops and threads, classic cotton yarn. So it's I got it at Michael's, so a different brand than this Knit Picks yarn. So that's that project in a big beach bag, beach themed bag. I don't even remember where I got this bag. I think my late mother-in-law may have got it for me many years ago, just as a grocery tote. So that's all I have for the knitting portion for today. Just curious, what is your favorite kind of birthday cake? I have never been a fan of carrot cake, but I make Randy one once a year for his birthday because it's his favorite. And this recipe has crushed coconut in it. No, crushed pineapple and coconut in it. And I really like the flavor of it. And plus, you know, with gobs of cream cheese frosting, what's not to like? And it does not have raisins in it. I do not like raisins in my carrot cake. I would say my favorite birthday cake probably is like a chocolate. I do really like German chocolate, or, well, let's be honest, I like cake. So I would love a lemon cake. I would love a coconut cake. I like pie. What's not to like about all of those things? I don't really have an update on the horses or the garden. I need to get some stuff outside in the garden, but it's still a little too cold. I need to start some more seeds, like some tomato seeds, which I have not done yet. I may just buy tomato starts. I always think I'm going to grow tomatoes. I mean, I have some indoor varieties that'll stay under lights. I always think I'm going to start my own tomato seeds, but then it's, you know, April comes and I don't have any room in my seed starting area. So we'll see what I do with that. The horses are good. Like I said, I've just been doing a little bit with them every single day. I'm not really riding yet. Although my arm is getting much better. It's still really difficult to lift my arm. I mean, I definitely get, I mean, I think last time, you know, I could raise it to about my nose, and now I'm up to there, and I can certainly lift it higher if I want to. And that is part of my PT, is lifting, you know, lifting it myself to one point and then using my other hand to support it up to the top. And then I hold it there for 5 seconds and then bring it down and down slowly. And that is increasing the strength. And then the PT, you know, definitely massages. I don't know if I could call it massaging. It tortures with his thumbs, that the shoulder capsule, and, you know, just tries to get things moving around and stuff. And there's definitely more room in the shoulder joint now. So, which means it's not quite as irritated and inflamed as it was. So I have high hopes. You know, initially when I did this, I was thinking I'd be kind of back in business by April, and I'm not really. So I don't know. It could be June. I'm hoping to get on my bike. Maybe this weekend. It's supposed to be nice. So we'll see about that. But that's all I have for you. I might include a video that I filmed. I was really frustrated with Bragi because he was chewing on a lot of wood, and I had to fence off this area in the pasture. Hopefully I can include that video in this. I didn't film it with this camera, so sometimes it can be a little tricky to merge stuff. I will try. If not, I will try to remember to explain what the situation was next time I film, in case you're wondering. But on that note, I hope you all have a great week. Take care. Bragi gives me no end to fencing projects. I feel a little insulted because there's pasture. It's not a lot of grass, but grass to nibble on for a couple hours that they are allowed turnout. They have plenty of hay. They get grain, which a lot of extra little goodies in it, supplements and stuff like that. So all of their nutritional needs should be met, and their emotional needs. They are together at least 20 hours out of a 24-hour day. So I don't know why, especially Bragi, I see Odin do it too. I don't know why they feel the need to do this. But when I saw this yesterday, or last night when I brought him in for dinner, I fully expected Bragi to be colicking this morning or perhaps dead. And that's a little dramatic, but he has had a blockage before from chewing on wood. So I try to nip it in the bud as much as possible, as soon as possible. I just really did not realize that this is how he was spending his turnout and grazing time.